What I think is really very novel in the report is how it traces the evolution of social policy from the social turn that we saw with the Copenhagen Summit in 1995, when social policy regained more traction in the international discussions and policy discourse, and then how the report turns to the new notion of a sustainability turn and the need to address the climate change challenges with all the ramifications that come from that, and this notion of a need for eco-social policy. And I think what the report does very nicely in terms of an analytical embedding or framing of the discussion is to see sort of the historical progression from the need to move from just economistic policy to social policy, but then how that needs to be broadened now into an eco-social policy. 2030 Agenda and the SDG document are the outcome of a process of intergovernmental negotiations. Civil society was very strongly and centrally involved and was able to make a lot of contributions and inputs into the document, but ultimately it is a UN member states outcome document, meaning that a lot of the edges are smooth, a lot of the issues are sketched but not really addressed fundamentally. As one example, the enormous predicament in which people find themselves, forcing them to flee or to migrate for political reasons, for oppression reasons, for climate change reasons, is not really addressed in the SDGs and in the 2030 Agenda. So we have a document that's extremely useful because it's an anchor for discussions, but it doesn't actually face the current situation head on. The second element is that the Paris Agreement also needs to be factored into an agenda for the next 15 years. So what I think we can gain from the UNRISD report is pulling those two strands together and adding the policy dimension, which UNRISD is so good at doing, both in terms of giving concrete policy examples of different countries doing eco-social policy, how that's working, where the shortcomings are, a very strong focus, very useful focus on the policy conflicts, where doing a policy measure that would ensure getting out of the carbon-based economy, but what does that mean for decent work, and to address those tensions. And the other element that the UNRISD report contributes, the flagship contributes, is to actually tackle the notion of transformation. When we're talking about eco-social policy, it's actually a different kind of integration where there is a hierarchy and where something has to be more important than something else, namely social justice, climate justice is the overarching normative and analytical and political goal, and the economics is really something supportive.